It's time to stream. That's so strange. uh... Okay. So a handful of setup differences. I actually found a PS3 components cable just lying around in my room in my parents' house. And we're gonna see if we're getting better. Oh wow, there's no point when I'm ever going to be used to this. We're gonna see if this runs better. So far I don't see much of a difference, but we'll see if that changes. Actually, first thing, let's close the door and turn off the lights, because otherwise I'm not going to see anything. I recall this giving me a headache the first time around, but... I'm tired, but no time to sleep. I'm gonna head for the hospital. What are you looking at? This? Is that what you're looking at? We already saw that. Is there anything written on the notepad? So you're just gonna walk around with a bloody vest and, it's the bathroom. I don't need to use it right now. Silent Hill. How to leave the motel. Man, I should not have stopped playing this. I should have finished it all the way through, because there's no getting used to these controls. That's the door. I don't know why I was confused. I've also moved the microphone to the the front port. Oh, this is always a good sign. Yeah, I want the music to actually be there and not just disappear. So we're at Jackson. You know, maybe you should have changed. Like, I realize that this place is really foggy, but... Oh, great. Get my bearings. So that's the inn. This doesn't actually make any sense, but can barely remember the controls. Guess we're just gonna run by whatever's there. It's dogs. This is a horrible place. Why would you ever visit this place? You can go away. Gee, I sure do hope that the inside of this hospital is perfectly normal and nothing bad is happening. I got a hospital map. Good for you. Something really useful here. Except this big red glowing sign. Took a nice jog through this horrible town. There are a bunch of different types of medicine, but none of that looks useful. I guess I should just leave it all alone. Something interesting is scattered on the floor. Where do I find myself? Document room. Goody. Okay. Ouch. I guess I got lucky. There must have been kids here too then. I played with dolls like this when I was a child too. It really takes me back. This day has finally come. That's right, the day when you and I will meet. I was always thinking of you here in this gloomy cell. I never even knew your name or face until today. But now I know. I know you're the one I've been waiting for. And you haven't been waiting for me too? That's why you came to rescue me. Oh, how I love you, Heather. I want to give you my prized doll I made to commemorate our meeting. The start of this everlasting love. I can already see your smiling face. Stanley Coleman. Nice picture of a flower in a vase. Nice, but whatever. Oh great, they're breathing. I can hear it. Yeah, not yet. The organization has me shut up in here. They mean to break my will to make me forget all about that. But I'll stay sane even if they throw me in here with the lunatics. How about if I stick this to the wall? That would be worthless. You can peel it off, can't you? With that junk those nasty wenches won't stop using. If a thing has no meaning, there's no reason for it to exist at all, just as you exist for me. But why haven't you taken my doll with you? Ah, my gift must have embarrassed you. How cute you are, Heather. Stanley Coleman. There are a lot of things stuck to the wall. A cookie, a toothbrush, a spoon. A Christmas card, a clock. Whoever it was probably used glue, but why do this in the first place? Oh, they stuck a beetle to the wall. Didn't need to do that. There's a key glued to the wall. I'd like to take it with me, but it's really stuck tight. I can't even pull it off. I mean, I can go into C2, but we all know what's going to happen. I'm just gonna run all the way, try to make it into the day room and hope that nothing bad is in there, although I know there's something bad in there. I think I saw a health vial in C2, but you know what? We have nothing better to do, so why don't we try to grab it? Sure, why not? Probably gonna die, but it's worth a shot. I think I actually suffered more health than it was worth, but whatever. Oh, yeah, that hurts. Ouch. I hope this will never come to any use. Maybe it's better if you never know. More than anything else, I fear the possibility of your going away far from me. But sometimes we have to tell the truth. That's why I'm writing this before I'm lost in death and oblivion. What happened back then? That has something to do with who you are. It all started 24 years ago. Coming back from a vacation, my wife and I found a baby on the side of the highway. Since we were childless, we thanked God for letting us meet this child, this girl. We took her home. 3 years later, my wife died, and another 4 years later, 17 years ago, I came to Silent Hill. I heard the girl's pleas and took her with me, not knowing why she wanted us to go there. And it was there that the girl went away. Not that she actually went anywhere, nor did she die. Returned to her original self. That's what Delilah Gillespie said. Original self. That was the young woman burned by her mother as a sacrifice to God. Alessa Gillespie. Half her soul escaped in those flames and went on to live in a baby, or in that girl of ours. 7 years passed before that half a girl returned to Silent Hill and made Alessa whole again. Newly strengthened, she vowed to kill God. God, a fetus nestled into this sacrificial girl's womb, was summoned with the usual rites. This was Alessa's wish, no matter what the outcome, even if her own existence were at stake. But that wish was not granted. My interruption meant she prayed instead for the girl's return. I alone couldn't bring her back. Dahlia, I said Delilah earlier. Dahlia did it. I only helped at the birthing ceremony to bring God out of Alessa. The newly born God wailed once and was dead, all from that girl's and probably Alessa's conscience resistance. That's not the end. After God had vanished in a glow of light, Alessa reappeared and gave me a baby. She looked a lot like that girl so long ago. And when Alessa was gone, dead, there was nothing I could have done to help her. I simply clutched the baby to my chest and ran off. The whole thing felt like a dream, but I had proof that it wasn't. The girl was nowhere to be found, and in my arms, the baby. Now 17 years have passed. It looks like it feels like only yesterday, and again it feels like a million years ago. I confessed I had reservations at first about raising that baby. Could I love her? Her existence was thoroughly unexplainable. I thought she could be that young woman who snatched away my beloved daughter. That led to sadness, anger. There were times when I put my hands around her tiny little throat. Several times I even considered abandoning her. That's what a terrible person I am. But I decided to raise her after all. I just couldn't seem to let her go. When you look at me, you laugh, so even now I can't forget about that girl. But I love you. I have no doubts about that, and that's all I ask you to believe. To my precious daughter, Harry Mason. Thanks, Dad. I guess next stop is... Can't go into the kitchen, can't go in the cafeteria. There's one more door to check that I just ran past. Okay. I am satisfied that there is nothing else here. So into the creepy elevator we go. Where should we go? Not an option. be more stupid shit on the second floor. Seems quiet. It's a lot of rooms. Ooh, a door that actually works. I really don't like it when it goes quiet. It's a fashion magazine. I'm not interested right now. Just an empty can. Nothing important. Nail polish remover. Got some perfume. There's nothing else interesting in the locker. Locker's closed tightly. I can't seem to get it open. Okay, let's examine our items that we just found lying around. Nail polish remover. This takes off nail polish. I found it in the women's locker room. Perfume. This stuff smells a little strange. Why don't you just slather it all over your body? You may not yet have realized your own true feelings, but you sense them unconsciously, and you're trying to get closer to me. That's a virtue, the path to paradise. If the door is locked, open it. Use your password for the prison gates. Doctor, I've forgotten my name. Anyway, that quack has it posted. He should be here too. I mean, 4 numbers would have been good enough, but he kept on going. Isn't it a shame? I'm not there. Aren't you irritated? I long for you, but you're so cruel. Still, I want you, Heather. Stanley Coleman. There's a typewritten memo posted here. What's this supposed to mean? The first is larger than the second is twice the third is smaller than the fourth is half the first. The first is larger than the second is twice the third. The third is smaller than the fourth. First is larger than the second, second twice the third. Third is smaller than the fourth. So the first has to be the largest one because it's larger than the second, and the second is twice the third. And since the third is smaller than the third is smaller than the fourth. Oh yeah, I remember these days. Okay, so the first is larger than the second. So first is larger than the second. Second is let's make this A, B, C. C is smaller than the fourth. The fourth is half the first. It's a little too difficult to read. Just gonna rewrite it. So A, B, C, D. A is larger than B. B is twice C. C is smaller than D, and D is half of A. So A is greater than B. B is twice C. C is less than D, which is probably the least helpful one. The ones for A and C are not very helpful. And D is half A. So if A is greater than B, if A is greater than B, then B is less than half of A. I don't think this is oh, well, okay. 4 of the numbers are not repeated. 3 are not in the top row. 2 are not. Okay. Three not top row. 2 are not in the right row. One of the numbers is the final key. Four are unique. I guess that's all we're gonna get. Yeah, that's why they didn't stick an enemy here, because they wanted us to stare at this for a bit. Okay, so A is bigger than B. B is twice C. C is less than D. A is greater than B. B is twice C. C is less than D. D is half of A. So if A is greater than B, and B is greater than C, and C is less than D, so that means that A and D are the biggest ones, and B and C are the smallest ones. And because B is twice C, then that means C is going to be the smallest. So C is actually less than B and less than C. I don't understand the top row thing. I guess it'll make more sense when we come across it. So A is greater than B. B is greater than C. C is less than D. So C is the least. I'm actually not sure about D and B. Because if C is the least, and but B is greater than C, and D is half of A is then definitely the biggest one. Because A would have to be... Because D is automatically less than A, because D is half of A. And A is bigger than B. And B is twice C. So A and D should be significantly larger than A and D should be significantly larger than B and C. And we already figured that they're unique. That was there's no other way. Trying to stare at this. Please give me VIP, please. PogChamp 1. Yeah, there's no tiers to this stream. There's no tiers on this channel. It's bare. It doesn't have anything. Doesn't have anything like that. Okay, so that's locked. I would consider adding something like that if you help me. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. Ah, well, that makes sense. Okay. So 3 are not in the top row. So that means that D is either since no. So 3 are not in the top row. So that means C, which is the smallest, C has to be 1, 2, or 3. 2 are in the right row. I think they meant right column, so... Okay, so that's going to be the column. So 2 of them are in the right row. And the right row is... I don't know why I tried to use my mouse for that, but... So that means... 1 is the final key, so I guess that's 9. So I guess if 1 is in the top, if 1 is in the top row and 2 are in the right row, and 1 is the final key, so that means I'm going to guess that that actually won't work out. What'd that last one say? One of the numbers is the final key. So one of them is 9, but if it's one of them is 9, I'm gonna guess that since A is the biggest one, it can't be 9. So that doesn't make any sense. So C is the smallest one, so it has to be in the top row. So it's 1, 2, or 3. Okay. Let's see. 2 are in the right row. The only way that can make sense is if C is 3. But that would mean, okay, so if so if the final key is supposed to be 9, that means A is 9, and it's bigger than B, which doesn't have anything to do with anything, because of course it's going to be the biggest one. And that would also mean that A is one of the ones that are in the right column, or right row as they call it. But if A was 9 and D is D is half of A. It did say half of A, it didn't say twice A. The fourth is half the first. So that's not possible. So the only way that could be is if 6, like, let's see if this would work. So if A was 6, and D was 3, then that would satisfy several of them. But that's not possible because A has to be an even number. So A is either 2, 4, 6, or 8. So we already know it's not going to be 2. It's probably not going to be 4, so it's either going to be 6 or 8. So let's say that A is 8. That would make D 4. So C could theoretically be, in that case, C could definitely be less than 4. So that means it's either 3, 2, or 1. But that's not possible because if C is 1, then it has to be there's only 1 in the top row. And only 2 in the right row. So that's only so if it's not 9, then 6 or 3 are 2 of them. So one of them has to be 6 and one of them has to be 3. So in that case, B is also even. So A can equal 8, 6, 4, or 2, but because A is the biggest one, because A is the biggest one, D can be odd. Because B is even, so it's not going to be 8. So B is going to be either 2, 4, or 6. So let's say C is 3 and B is 6. So in this case, A would be larger than B. If A was 8, it would be larger than B if it was 6. And B would be twice as C because it's 3. But C is less than D, and D is going to be 4, and it's that twice 4 is going to be 8. So I think so. It's going to be 8, 6, 3, 4. But I don't really understand. I don't really understand the last one. Like so far, like all this makes sense. 4 of the numbers are not repeated, so they're not all the same. Fine, we check that. Three are not in the top row. That's fine. C is the only one in the top row. Two are not in the right row, so 2 of them are in the right row. One of the numbers is the final key, but that's not possible. It is impossible for the final key to be yeah, that wouldn't be possible because if D was if the final key is supposed to be D, D is supposed to be the smallest one. So that doesn't make any sense. But 2 are not in the right row, so we only have 3 or 6 that are in the right column. So I'm gonna guess it's 8, 6, 3, 4. That's a really weird number. Okay. I guess I was right. Okay. Great. There's gonna be a ton of enemies on this side, or isn't there? It's gonna be my reward. Yep, I hear all of them here. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, there's gonna be something bad in here. What are you looking at? There's a man's corpse laid out in the stretcher. A hand is sticking out with a sheet written something on it. The hand that's sticking out of the sheet has something written on it. Well, read it! The start time is my key. There's a medical record here. Could this be for the dead guy? Background unknown, name, age unknown. Not admitted patient found in poor mental state on hospital grounds and temporarily installed at room F4 at chief's discretion. Died late tonight from blood loss due to severed carotid artery. Was grasping own kitchen knife in right hand. Assumed this was cause of neck wound. Possible suicide but wound angle suspicious. Sent to second floor treatment room for further investigation. Have received no proof or corroboration of events from patients residing in the same room. Have not notified police, however, for future necessity, leave victim's bed effects intact. And 4. There are papers scattered on the floor. Something's written on them, but none of them seem really important. The start time is my key. Start time is my key. Get up, Heather. What? One of them has a gun? There was a tattooed guide on that rumpled bed. Not anymore, though. That alarm clock and filthy bag are his. But don't misunderstand. I haven't done a thing. I didn't hate him, though he was a liar. Shall I write something of my own on my chest, since I can't cut it open to show you... On my chest, since I can't cut it open to show you my heart. I love Heather. No, something a bit more forceful. I love Heather isn't enough for what I feel. Oh, what a tender emotion this image brings. Stanley Coleman. Just my phone freaks me out. Nine. Instant camera. There's nothing else interesting in here. Instant camera. Unlike a normal camera, you can see the developed photos right away, so Polaroid. I'm gonna die. I don't have enough health. I was kind of flush with health until that last boss fight where I used most of my stuff. And now the nurses have guns. That's not even fair. It was barely worth it. Let's go to the first one again. I guess. Heather, stop getting hit. First, let's save, because I am 100% sure I'm going to die from my injuries soon. I'll take a short break to get something to drink. Be right back. So let's go back to C4. guys are fast. Might actually end up bleeding out. Yeah, I was about to say, use nail polish remover. Got a stairwell key. So where the hell do we go? Straight into the basement? Because that's exactly where I want to be. Oh great, I can't access the stairwell from here. I hate you guys. At least you don't have guns. Of course I get hit. Go through the stairwell so I can stop getting my ass beat. Oh, great. I have almost nothing left. I don't even want to deal with that. It's a wheelchair. Where's the person that was using it? Do you really want to know the answer to that question? It's all junk. I don't think there's anything important here. Streaks of blood is something got dragged continuing to the back of the shelf. I know as soon as I grab the gun, something stupid is gonna happen. out of here. Who in their right mind would stay there? I'm almost out of health. Submachine gun holds 32 rounds of ammunition, great for continuous firing. No ammo. I'll hopefully find some soon. That's a great sound. That's exactly what I want to hear. This is the second floor. I also like the rooftop. It makes me want to fly. You too? Stanley Coleman. What's up there? Nothing good. Absolutely nothing good. Oh hell, but I have to go there, don't I? I have to get to the control room. Oh, there's nothing there. Just death. Sorry, easy enemies too. The hell does that mean? Special treatment room, storeroom. I want to go into the storeroom first. Some medical supplies, please. It's a good variety, but nothing that I would need. Heather, my most sacred lover. I'm always watching you, no matter where you are or what you may be doing. I have never lost sight of you. I know you feel intensely lonely, yet with a single key to this door, those feelings won't stand in the way any longer. We haven't been able to see each other for so long. Be patient, it's just a little longer. I'll be patient too, even though I long to hold you in these hands of mine. The key is behind the shelves in the underground garage. Why there? Ask that idiot doctor. There's not a single person here who's right in the head. Not just in the hospital, I mean in all Silent Hill. Except me, Stanley Coleman. So I have to go back to the bloody room and stick my hands behind the shelves. Do I have to outline how much I don't want to do that? Alright, let's go back. The key is behind the shelves in the underground garage. Why there? Ask that idiot doctor. He meant the basement floor, right? I guess not. is he talking about underground garage? Probably nothing. Oh, that was the elevator. It's a memo on the wall. Punishment for brutality towards patient. 12 hours confinement in the special treatment room. Dismissal policy no longer in effect. Contact chief if you have any questions. There's something handwritten on top of the typewritten sentence. The trick is not to leave any marks. And one other thing, this looks like it was written by a different person. The chief is a pervert. Christie would have been better off if she had been fired. Flowing freely, your ebony hair like the night sky, scattering fragrance. My heart clamoring in my chest like a storm, you trifle with it. Your pristine glance like a feast when you smile. My thoughts disturbed, my breath like opium, and drives me mad. Eric, a great poet who conveys my feelings so well. I shouldn't have let this place get to me. Should have never gone crazy. But it's superbly enjoyable to drown in my love for you. But why won't you accept proof of my love? Don't stand on ceremony now. After all, you and I exist as one. What I give to you is the same as what I give to me, Stanley Coleman. Yep, that's exactly what I thought it would be. This is actually a good jumping off point. Same thing, 8634. What did I miss? This is what I mean about roundabout solutions. Suspicious space between the shelf and the wall, but I can't squeeze into there. There's no way I can move the shelf either. I did not see that the first time. This game and its hotspots. 1984. Now I'm good. Sometimes games won't let you move forward unless you actually complete a task. What was the number? Yeah, 1984. Am I blind? feel like I'm crazy. Like, apparently it changes every time. What is that on the... Because I put in 1984 and it didn't work. That's a 6. That's a 6. 6984. It's ridiculous. Why would you do that? The magazine just some kind of gossip magazine. Teaching Despair, Hope House. Hope House is an orphanage on the outskirts of Silent Hill, but behind its false image is a place where children are kidnapped and brainwashed. Hope House is managed by the Silent Hill Smile Support Society, a charity organization sometimes called 4S. It's true that 4S is a well-respected charity that takes in poor children without homes and raises them with hope. But at its heart, it is a heathen organization that teaches its own warped dogma in lieu of good religious values. Mr. Smith, temp, who lives near Hope House, had this to say. Sometimes at night I can hear their weird prayers and the sounds of children crying. I went there to complain one time, but they ran me right out. Since then, it hasn't changed a bit. In fact, this reporter was refused admission when he attempted to take photographs in the facility. What exactly do the folks at Hope House have to hide? During my investigations, I was able to discover, however, a suspicious-looking round concrete tower which appears to be part of their facilities. Unfortunately, no one was willing to tell us what the tower was used for, but seems unlikely that it has anything to do with the business of raising orphans. It may in fact be a prison or a secret place of worship. The cult religion that operates Hope House is known by the locals simply as the Order. It's a religion that is deeply interwoven with Silent Hill's history, but its worshippers' fervent belief that they were among the elite chosen people has a dark and dangerous side. I intend to continue my investigation of Hope House and the cult behind it. I've always believed that telling the whole truth and showing the children the truth path is our most important duty. Joseph Schreiber. Hope House. I feel like I've heard that name before. Tissue in the alarm clock. Huh. The clock is broken, but otherwise no big deal. The doll is torn apart. It's really pretty sad to look at. I wonder who did it and why. Goodbye, Heather. I'm sorry I wasn't able to respond to your love. It's all over. Leonard despises me because I made fun of it, saying it would come to this. If it weren't for his meddling, I would have been able to meet you in a little while. Then I could have taken you to my world. A world for us alone, more beautiful than this one. And I had been waiting for this day. For today, the day I'd see you. The day you'd save me. Today. Heather, watch out for him. Leonard is no ordinary guy. Farewell. I loved you. Heather, my goddess. Heather, my lover. Heather, my... Ah! Sure, why not?
Hello?
Claudia.
No, I'm not.
Don't lie to me, Claudia. You're always trying to run from your responsibilities. Have you come to apologize? Or maybe you still don't realize how foolish you've been. Salvation of all mankind. What a ridiculous dream.
Wait, just listen to me for a second.
I've heard enough from you already. How did it turn out this way? Where did I go wrong?
Listen to me already. I'm not Claudia.
Not Claudia.
My name is Heather. Who are you?
Leonard Wolf. I'm sorry. I thought you were my daughter.
Claudia is your daughter?
Oh, so you know her, do you? I
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Is there any other room that I need to be on here? S1, S7, S12. Ends of the hall on the second floor. Well, that means M6. I'll find out in a second. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try to for once get out of here without being hit. Oh, that's not gonna happen, is it? Ah, shoot, one of them has a gun. Game, I wish you warned me that one of them has a gun. What next? Let's go back up to the roof. I think I actually missed something up there. Okay, and I think that's all. Cool. Yeah, that reminds me. Back to the third floor. So I'm actually gonna stop it right here. A little bit, kind of a short stream this time. Uh, I'll try to start on time tomorrow. Um, I've been starting around 6 instead of 5:30, but I'll try to start at 6 this time. Uh, no new news. I'm not sure what I'm going to be streaming next. I don't have anything. I thought about ordering something, but I don't really, I didn't really know what. I kind of want to play, Resident Evil 4. In fact, I might go ahead and do that. I remember that the controls for that are also a little bit strange. So I guess we'll see. But mainly I just want to get through my PS2 library, and there's plenty of scary titles for the PS2. I actually think it's pretty fun streaming on the PS2. There's loads of titles. It's a very loaded library of very high quality titles. Um, I wish I did a little bit more research into this because I feel like I would have benefited more playing this if, at the very least, I played Silent Hill 2 at first. I know that a lot of titles got their start in on the PlayStation 1, but it was really the PlayStation 2 when they really started getting really detailed. So I'm gonna think I might do go ahead and do Resident Evil 4 because I don't have any other horror titles for October. Tomorrow's stream and Sunday's stream should be considerably longer than this. This one was barely 2 hours. That's including breaks, which, which, admittedly were not that long. Um, so nothing new to report. I I've begun transferring a lot of the streams that were on the old channel, my personal channel, onto the streaming channel. So right now, Kuon is being uploaded. Obviously, that's going to be. I think there's 2 videos up. Considering replaying Kuon in the future on the highest difficulty, I don't think there's much of a difference, except that you actually have to use the cards. I'm still considering Clock Tower and Fatal Frame for streaming material. I don't have those on hand right now, unfortunately. But they're not particularly expensive, so I can always get them. I'd prefer to play this on the PS2 first, on my first run through. Then maybe on an emulator the second time. I am strongly considering. I'm thinking about games that I'm going to be streaming after October, but right now, all the way until Halloween. I think even past Halloween. I think through the end of November, I'm going to be playing gloomy games because I really like Fall, but Fall is gloomy, and I think these types of games go perfectly. I also don't like to. I think it's a shame that Halloween is only. It's my favorite holiday, well, I guess favorite time, and it's only reserved for. It's only reserved for 1 month when Christmas decorations went up around September in many stores, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I wouldn't even think of putting up Christmas decorations until after Thanksgiving, but Americans really like starting early on the holidays, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Hopefully things are going to be a lot calmer next month. But so far that is my plan to continue streaming what I have right now. So Silent Hill probably going to be finished, definitely going to be finished this weekend. There's barely any game left. This is not a long game. There is hard mode, which I might tackle in the future by myself. I don't know. I would probably get through it a lot faster even on hard mode, but the Resident Evil is probably going to be next. If I do play, I'm not sure what scary game I would play if I'm going to be playing. On the PC. My original idea was Amnesia, but Amnesia has been played 100 billion times. I don't think Machine for Pigs was. I haven't played a Machine for Pigs, and the new Amnesia game is coming out soon. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to play. But I think it's safe to just go ahead and do Resident Evil 4 next. I know Resident Evil 4 originally came out on the GameCube, but whatever. Everybody I've known who played it on the PlayStation 2. I'm not hating on the GameCube. It's just I think the PlayStation 2 was the PlayStation 2 is one of the top selling consoles. Just check to see what's best selling game consoles. Yeah, it is the PlayStation 2 with 155 million units. Compare that to the GameCube. I'm not even sure if it's on top. Yeah, the GameCube only sold 21.74 million. But even that eclipsed a Wii U, which only sold for 13.56. I kind of want a Wii U. And the Wii U sold slightly better than the Game Gear, which came out 22 years prior than the game in 1990 with 10.62 million units. And then there's the PS Vita, which is 10 to 15 million. I'm not sure how they don't know. Pretty sure Wii is up there. Yeah, Wii is up there with 101.63 units. I don't know why they renamed it Wii 2. I mean, it's obvious why they named it Wii 2. Because I mean the Wii U, because I mean Wii 2 would have been a better name. Like if you were gonna why would you just put a letter after it? That's something Nintendo makes strange decisions. Nintendo's Switch is still only at 62 million. I don't think I don't think the fact that its sales are pretty the fact that there are shortages is really helping it. Although I'm surprised that it only came out in 2017. I thought it's been around longer. I really feel sorry for Microsoft because Microsoft barely made any sales at all. I mean, it struck gold with the 360, but then just sort of petered out. The original Xbox came out 2001, sold 24 million, which is respectable for the time. Although the N64 eclipsed most of that generation and the generations after it, right after it, with 32.93 million. Although the Sega Genesis sold more than that, with 35 million, but it was around in various forms since 1988. And I remember getting my my second generation Genesis in 94, 95. I want to say 94. But yeah, it's kind of sad. Xbox, the original Xbox came out. Where are you? Same time as the GameCube. GameCube was kind of a strange entry from Nintendo. Where did you go? Yeah, first one sold a respectable 24 million. 360 sold for an extremely respectable 84 million. It just got slightly under the PlayStation 3 with 87.4 million. Although the Wii, as I said, the Wii got 1.1.63 million, which eclipsed both of them. Ironically, the original PlayStation, eclipsed almost all of these with 102.49 million, which, when you look at other consoles that came out at that time, let's see, where's Sega Saturn? Sega Saturn didn't even break 10 million. It was 9.26 million. Then they came out with the Dreamcast, which didn't even beat that. It was 9.13 million. Another that is another that is another console that I eventually want to get. But yeah, and obviously the PlayStation 4 completely dominated the previous generation with 112.1 million. Xbox One only got 50 million. That is almost half of what the 360 sold, but the 360 was around for a while, as well as the PlayStation 3. But it's the end of the previous generation. The Nintendo Switch came out 4 years later and eclipsed sales. So Xbox One, I think that was a massive branding issue, probably. But yeah, PlayStation 2 is on top with 155 million, and the only thing that ever came close to dislodging it was the Nintendo DS, which has been discontinued, and it is listed at 1.54 million. It's probably not going to get. It's probably might tie with the PlayStation 2, but it's not going to go higher. The original Game Boy and its Game Boy Color upgrade came out 1.18.69 million from 1989 to 1998, or rather 1998's release of the Color, which is I think when I got it, or I got it in 99. I think I got it in 99. Um, I cannot think of the number of things that went wrong with the Xbox One. The Kinect attachment, the fact that they named it Xbox One. What was the point in naming it that? I'm glad that they got rid of the Kinect, so that probably helped it. Even so, 50 million is really bad considering that it had no reason to say. Yeah, and now they're gonna call it. What the hell is this? Atari? VCS, codename Atari Box, is a home video game console and microconsole produced by Atari SA. Game console was revealed in 2017 and pre-orders began on May 30, 2018. Was expected to ship March 2020. Yeah, I think a lot of things were plans out for spring so they could have so they could get everything out before the summer, but the COVID-19 pandemic ruined everything, so now it's going to be released on the 27th. Tons of retro games preloaded and current titles from a range of studios. Hundreds of Atari games. That's usually not a good sign when there's too many titles. Is there a website for this? I like that all the games I play have wonderful background music. Are they still selling this, or are they completely out? I'm pretty sure they're completely out. You can have the Black Walnut, the Onyx, or the Carbon All Gold bundle. As much as $389.99. You get the brown one from Atari. You get the wood grain one from Atari. You get the black one from GameStop, and you get the carbon fiber from Walmart. Do you guys even have any more? I mean, they're still taking pre-orders. They're offering the original joystick plus the updated joystick. I'm tempted. I mean, we're gonna have a very, very strange ecosystem where we're going to have the Nintendo Switch, which was basically a rectification of all the mistakes of the Wii U, which only sold 13.56 million. Nintendo Switch already completely eclipsed it with 55.77 million. It's even funnier because it also eclipsed the Xbox One, as I mentioned. So we're gonna have this very with the DS eliminated, with the Wii U buried and forgotten. Uh, we only have we have the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series XS, which again I think the marketing team for the Xbox is has something wrong with them. I have no idea why you would do that. That's an awful way to. I understand what they're trying to do, but why not just okay? So you named the second one 360. So they kind of put themselves in a bad spot. But they could have just done the same thing they did with with Windows and just said screw it. Just it's the Xbox it's the Xbox 3. Or if they really wanted this, there's another weird thing. I mean, the arguments would be that, if you name it the Xbox 3, it's going to look bad against the PlayStation 4, but you named it the Xbox One. So I would say that's even worse. So I would just name it. Oh, yeah, that's right, because they named it the 360. The naming it Xbox 3 is not even going to work. Okay, fine. So it's too late to fix that problem. But they could have named the Xbox, the next Xbox, the Xbox 4, and just share the ecosystem with the PlayStation 5. So we're gonna have this weird ecosystem where the Nintendo Switch is going to continue on to the new generation because Nintendo has no reason to replace it right now. Um, all the handhelds are gone. DS is gone. Wii U is gone. The PlayStation 4, Xbox One are gone. Sega is MIA since 1990s. So we're gonna have the Xbox Series XS. We're gonna have the PlayStation 5, and we're gonna have an Atari console, which is essentially going to be just, as far as I can tell, it's going to be a highly customizable Linux-based console. Well, not highly customizable, but it's going to accept different software. Or maybe custom software, as far as I can tell, as well as redone versions of the old games. And when I say redone, I mean they'll look decent on a widescreen TV. Atari VCS, again, something. What is this supposed to stand for? New PC console hybrid, 300 almost $400. Okay. I mean, it looks good. Play, discover new classic games powered by AMD Ryzen with okay, they're helping to prop out AMD. Although I think AMD powers all the consoles, so they don't really have any reason not to do so. You can stream, you can develop. Oh, you can develop stuff on it. I mean, it's interesting, but I like you. It's you barely hear about it. Atari World, Linux-based OS, Atari PC mode, install any OS. Just install Ubuntu on it. Shipping 2020 technical specifications. It's under 1 foot, 6, 2 inches wide, 3 pounds. Plastic, metal, and wood. It has wood. It has actual wood. 4K video, 2 USB front, 2 USB back, HDMI, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Linux, Windows, Steam OS, Chrome OS compatibility. Internet connection required. Not for classic gaming, but required to access all features. Oh, this is the 800 system. The 400 system... Why is there... You're shipping out two versions of it? What's the difference? So it's same size, same dimension, same weight, same APU and GPU. Has 4 gigabytes instead of DDR4 RAM instead of 8 gigabytes, and it's upgradable. It's upgradable on both. So if you want an Atari console with 16 gigabytes DDR4 RAM, you can. It's all yours. Yeah, that seems to be the only difference between the 800 and the 400 is the, I may be missing something, but just it has twice as much RAM. Why? Why would you not have 8? I guess it's a console. Well, I mean, it's a game console. Well, I mean, it's for playing old games, but maybe streaming. But if you want to install Windows 10 on it, it might need 8. It more than likely needs 8. My dad's den computer ran with 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. It ran alright. A little bit slow, but alright. It was much better with 8. But yeah, we're gonna have this bizarre ecosystem where we're gonna have an Atari console. I'm not sure how that's gonna do. Especially with a price point, like for $400, how much does the PlayStation 5? I'm just gonna save this for fun. PS5 MSRP. $499, so $500. Xbox Series X MSRP. $499. That's what I thought. And they have, if you want to knock it back, oh, $299 for the smaller version, and for the Xbox Series S, it's S, right? Xbox Series S is going to be $299, and the digital version of the PS5 is going to be $399. So yeah, for the same price, you can get you'll get the PlayStation 5 digital discless edition for $399.99. So for the same, slightly more expensive, you get a much more advanced console, but that's probably going to have a much more advanced array of games. So I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting to see how it sells. I hope it sells. I mean, it looks like a pretty cool idea. I guess I'm not sure what to do with it. But yeah, we're going to have an Atari console. Oh, and it's going to release on the 27th of November. And the Xbox Series X and S are going to release on the 10th of November. That's almost exactly a month away. PlayStation 5 is going to release 2 days later on the 12th, and Atari VCS is going to get released on the 27th. 20 days later. No, not 20 days later. 15 days later. So half a month later, you're going to release a $400 console. It's $385 if you pre-order it, but whatever. And your options are the Atari VCS. You can spend $300 on an Xbox Series S, and it's probably going to be weak on the. Exclusives, if you care about that sort of thing. But $300 for a modern console just because it doesn't. I mean, they're going to be making money back from you. Because you're going to be waiting for sales, and console sales are nowhere near as good as secondhand or sales on Steam if you have a PC. I don't want to turn this into a console versus PC. PC has nothing to do with this. But on paper, $300 for a modern console, S series. Oh, and the S series is also slightly weaker. The X series that with the disc is 38, 3.8, 38 gigahertz. Yeah, right. Both of them are going to have 8-core AMD Zen 2, 3.8 gigahertz, 3.6 gigahertz with SMT, 3.6 gigahertz, 3.4 gigahertz with SMT. PlayStation 5 custom 8-core AMD Zen 2, same thing as the Xbox, variable frequency up to 3.5 gigahertz, perfectly comparable. Probably not going to notice that much of a difference in performance, since since everything is going to be optimized for the console. I presume they're going to run just fine on 60 frames per second. If they run less than 60 frames per second, they're probably going to have problems. No, that's fine, because Atari VCS is going to have probably everything run way above that, because they're Atari games, even if they are in 4K. Oh yeah, and then there's the Nintendo Switch. So Nintendo is kind of in a weird position. It's sort of released itself. It released itself before the PlayStation, a year before the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch came out 4 years after either of those. 5 years after the Wii U release, which didn't do that well. And it's probably going to hang around a little bit longer. There's no, I mean, at the very earliest, they're going to release a new one in 2022, if the supply chain is still not screwed up, which I assume it's not going great. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X and S have been in development for a while now. I don't know too much about this, just been following it a little bit. PlayStation 4 handily won the previous generation. It's basically, I'm not sure, I think the Atari VCS is going to be kind of like a novelty. Especially for $400. I mean, I'm sure it's cool and I'm sure it looks pretty, but I can't see a lot of people, except maybe tech enthusiasts and people with who feel nostalgic, buying it over the new PlayStation or Xbox consoles. So I think the Xbox S Series S was released with such a tiny price point, both because they think they're going to make their money back easily with digital releases. And with a digital version of the console being released immediately alongside the disc version, I'm pretty sure that in let's see, 7 years, probably 5, 6, 7 years, the PlayStation 6 and whatever the hell Xbox is going to be called, they're all going to be they are all going to be discless. It's going to be 100% digital, which is unfortunate, but it's been heading in this direction for a while. And I guess Nintendo is operating on its own planet, because it released the Wii U early, which is probably for the best, but considering how little it's sold, I can only imagine it would have been even more of a failure. Then it just released the Switch in the middle of March 2017, and people are clamoring for it. It's a portable console that you can put on a dock and play on your TV. Little bit considerably less portable than the DS, but what are you going to do? It's portable. It's a lot more portable than the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. The PlayStation 5 is not portable at all. That thing is enormous. It's the size of a large monitor. I think it's the size of my 1080p monitor, which is... No, it's probably bigger than that. What are its dimensions? Dimensions, 15 inches. How does that compare with the previous... The PlayStation 4 was pretty large too. How big was the PlayStation 4? 12 inches. This thing is enormous. Enormous. First generation PS4, 2.8 kilograms. Second generation shaved it down to 2.5. What's the PlayStation 5 going to be? 4.5 kilograms. 4.5 kilograms. That is obscene. How much is the Xbox? I know the Xbox One was heavy. Xbox One was comparable. It was 13 inches, 2.9 kilograms. Wait. 4.4 kilograms, so it was definitely larger. How much is the Xbox Series S? 4.4 kilograms versus 1.93 kilograms for the S series for the digital version. How much is the digital version of the PS5? $3.9 kilograms. So the Xbox Series S is a featherweight. So it's so yeah, you know what? I think yeah, combined with the fact that the PlayStation 5 has a very strange shape that might be difficult to place in some media centers, and it's so heavy. The Xbox Series S is small, it's compact, it's cheap, $300 for a brand new console with 3.6 gigahertz. That's insane. I don't know much about and it's gonna come out first. It's gonna come out 2 days before the PlayStation 5. I don't know. There's a lot of perks to getting the Xbox Series S. Considerably cheaper, compact, powerful. Hopefully it won't overheat. I heard that upgrading the memory or the storage, I can't remember which one, is considerably easier. Like for the Xbox Series XS, X and S, you apparently just slip in a card. I mean, it's a proprietary card, but you just slip it in the back and you have extra memory. It's like any sort of memory card. For a PC, if you played with a digital camera before, it's the same thing. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but it's an SD card, one of the big ones, thick ones. PlayStation 5, you have to pull it apart too. I mean, it's probably not difficult to pull apart. I wish they had a port like they have for some ThinkPads where you can just pop open the ports on the bottom and upgrade the memory, switch out the card, but apparently you have to remove an entire panel to upgrade the memory on PlayStation 5. So the Xbox Series S is portable, is small, compact, lightweight, cheap, comes out first. Not sure about its library. I think ultimately the library is going to be the deciding factor, but in terms of being a console, a lot of people are living in apartments right now. They're not really. There's a lot of people buying houses, and you know what? There are people who have money are buying houses right now, but that might be subject to change. There's a lot of people who are not doing well with money. Yeah, they're not doing well with money, and they're probably not doing well with space because they probably had to downsize their apartments because of what the pandemic is doing to the economy, at least in the US, which is going to be the primary market. I think the Xbox Series S, depending on its well, you know what? Let's look at the let's look at the games that get released just for fun. I said I'm tired, and I'm already playing. I'm already talking for half an hour, but whatever. I'm too tired to play. My eyes were starting to hurt a bit. Let's see. Xbox Series versus PlayStation 5 release titles. What do you have? CNN has an article about this. CNN. Well, Tom's Guide, this is kind of a. Of course, it's gonna have Halo. PlayStation 5 is a very strange design. Okay, so Tech Radar says they have the launch games. No affiliation. They're not paying me anything. Nobody's paying me anything. I'm just trying to get you the best information. Of course, Cyberpunk is going to be a. Cyberpunk is going to be on top. I think it releases on the 10th, so it releases right after, right before either the PlayStation or Xbox releases. And if you buy it for Xbox One or PS5, you get the upgraded one for no additional cost. Okay, Microsoft is going to start off with a Halo Infinite. Sensuous Saga Hellblade 2. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Dirt 5, The Medium, not sure what that is. Yakuza, Like a Dragon. Ratchet for the PS5, Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Forbidden West. Sounds familiar. Oh, this is a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. I need to play that for the first game, but it came out on the PC, but I want to play it on the I want to play it on the console since that was supposed to be the premiere title for the PS4. Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Gran Turismo 7, Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a PS5 exclusive, with a new God of War game expected, God of War 2 Ragnarok. Again, they're naming games. They're renaming games again the way they shouldn't be renaming them. And of course, Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed Valhalla are going to be on both consoles. So I think PS5 is also going to have Destiny 2, Madden, NBA 2K21, 2K21. Nothing amazing. There's going to be some games. I mean, everybody's going to have Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk is probably... I doubt... there's been some worrying news about Cyberpunk. I don't think they're going to push it anymore. It's gone gold, from what I've heard, so they're probably not going to be fiddling with it too much. They're probably going to be working on fixing bugs and then working on DLC, not within the probably already working on it. Probably have been working on it. When is Bloodlines 2 getting released? I kind of want that game. People were complaining that somebody that the lead writer from the original game was fired. So we'll see what they do with it. It's hard to say why they sent him away. Bloodlines 2 will launch sometime. It's 2021, originally scheduled for March 2020. Yeah, we're gonna. It's a very common theme. Okay, well, bottom line, on paper, Xbox Series S probably is the best console. In terms of specs, what it brings, slightly weaker, but a lot of other things going for it. Much cheaper, much cheaper. I don't think shaving 0.2 gigahertz for trading $200 for 2.2 gigahertz is gonna make that much of a difference. Anyway, I don't really have much to add. This stream is going up on YouTube. Gonna stream a lot more tomorrow and Sunday. Today I just kind of felt like relaxing and talking. I was out for most of the day and had some chores around the house that have been waiting, so was a little bit tired. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will stream again tomorrow. See you soon.